ball right field deep. Canseco back to the track, looking up. It is off his head, it looked like, and over the top. A home run.
It's been a while since he's seen a hole that big. I pride myself and think of myself as a man of faith. As there's a drive in a deep left field by Castellanos, it will be a home run.
He starts to come, and then he pulls out.
Josh Bynes has been coming all night long, but then he pulls out, and it's just hard.
2 inches short, maybe less. That's the story of my life.
Receiver coach has been blown away by Crabtree's hands and his ability to suck in these balls.
And the 3-1. Popped up. Castillo. Dropped the ball! He dropped the ball! Here comes Teixeira! And the Yankees win! Oh my goodness!
Listen in as we tackle everything in the world of sports right now. Throw your hat in the ring at 516-572-7440. This is WHPC Sports Talk on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC.
Yes, welcome to the midweek Wednesday edition of WHPC Sports Talk here on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC on this beautiful Wednesday, April the 12th. Wild, usually don't expect it to be 85 degrees on April 12th, but that's the type of weather we have going on here. Beautiful day in the studio as well. Joshua Yamahi as your host, joined by Nico Weech and Devin O'Shea. Tell us how we doing. Talk to me.
You know who's having a good day, Josh? Anthony Volpe. He went off today.
He went off.
1 for 4.
Ah.
The double.
Woo! You love to see it. You got a hit today. Love to see it. Devin, how we doing?
It's warm outside, so I'm loving it.
Hey.
I'm loving this weather.
Beautiful. It's beautiful on TV right now because, you know, we follow the baseball games when they come on during the day. 5-2 Mets right now, bottom of the ninth. I think Adam Ottavino. Top of the ninth, excuse me. Adam Ottavino got 2 outs to get. Keep an eye on that. Like Nico said, Volpe did get a hit, but the Yankees did win in Cleveland. We talk about, like, Linsanity, right? And it's like overused term now. He's on his Linsanity run. Yeah. This Franchi Cordero, dude. I mean, I hate to chalk it up to like, oh, it's a fake run, because that's what Linsanity run means, but another home run today? He's up to, let me see his stats right here. He's got a higher OPS than Aaron Judge.
Double play?
Through...
And that's the game.
10 games, as Devin called it. The Mets do get the win just now. Reporting it live on Sports Talk 5-2. Big bounce back win. We're going to get into everything that happened today and the series as a whole. Padres do go down 2-3 to the Mets in this series. But y'all know the drill. 516-572-7440 to discuss anything in the world of sports. Whatever you want to talk about. Baseball, football, basketball. I'll even oblige you in some hockey. If you want to talk some soccer, it's a little weird, but I'll be with it. All right. Anything you want to talk about, 516-572-7440. Once again, is the phone number. So, like we just said, the Mets game just came to a close. They take 2 out of 3 from the San Diego Padres. Get a little revenge from the wild card series last year. I mean, don't really do much for me, but it does help as far as this regular season, I guess. Like we said, 5-2, and a couple of stats I want to get into, and I know the Mets won, so I'm not trying to dump on them too much, but I was really concerned about the offense coming into this game. And, you know, you have Tyler McGill on the mound, we have Blake Snell, he's not the same pitcher from when he won the Cy Young Award, but can still beat you every now and then. I know the Mets also beat him up in the wild card series last year. That was the one game they won against the Padres. So, you know, let's just recap the game real quick. Juan Soto, so this guy he was a national. He was used to just murdering the Mets, killing the Mets every time he saw them. Took a little break, a couple games, you know, didn't really do much in the wild card series. Didn't do much in the first game of the series. This guy hit it I can't even call it a moonshot. This guy hit it to the Shea Bridge, 450 feet. Here we go.
Hopefully that's in a Met jersey next year.
How likely do we think that is?
I'm hoping for either him or Ohtani, and we're going to give in a bag to either of them.
Yeah, yo.
They're going to get a lot.
So I know Ohtani's a free agent this summer, and then Juan Soto's a free agent the summer after.
Yeah.
I mean, y'all know how I feel about Ohtani. That's blank check territory.
Mm-hmm.
That's Steve Cohen. Just hand him a blank check. Have him write any amount you want and get him here, please. I don't care if it takes over $500 million. Get it done. I saw a crazy stat about Shohei Ohtani earlier. I'm gonna try to find it. It was I couldn't believe it when I read it. It's like we talk about two-way players in like basketball, and we will get to the NBA later, but he has a like sub 1 ERA, and just the OPS is nuts too. So he's like, he was always a great two-way player, pitching and hitting, but this year he's taking it to a whole nother level. So contract year, Shohei Ohtani. I don't know. He might get the Angels to the playoffs. We'll see.
Let's not.
I know.
It's not a miracle.
Let's be honest here.
I know it's a lot to do. He's got a lot of work.
200 home runs.
They
still won't make the playoffs.
They have a better roster this year with Brandon Drury, Hunter Renfroe, Taylor Ward's still there. So they have a better roster this year, but the Texans are number one in that division right now. The Astros have a losing record. So that division, if the Astros continue to, they did win today, but if they continue to not look so good, the Angels may or may not be able to slide right into there.
We don't think the Rangers doing all this early is a little fake, though?
Oh, it definitely is.
I mean, I know they have DeGrom and they have all the big money signings on offense, and they might finally be coming together this season. But, I mean, with the Astros, and I know the Mariners haven't started out too hot, but, I mean, they have the talent. I mean, we saw it last year. Rangers right now do lead the division at 7-4. It's still really early, so I don't really want to get into they're leading the division. Look at them. But the Angels are 6-5, and I don't know, Ohtani, just please get him here. But let's focus on the Mets right now. Let's focus on the Mets. So they start out the game, and this is the stat I wanted to bring up on the Mets earlier. Let's see if I can find them all over the place. But they're hitting with runners in scoring position. Has not been great. They're batting like sub 100 in those positions, and we saw it in yesterday's game. I mean, they left so many guys on base, blew opportunities early in the game. And if Ross was here, I'm going to play Ross for a second. I know exactly what he'd say. It's, once you blow those opportunities early in the game, it always comes back to bite you. And that's exactly what happened. So fast forward to today, Juan Soto hits the home run. The Mets have the bases loaded and 1 out. Then you get a pop-up, and then you get a ground out. And I'm like, yo, are these dudes serious? Are they really about to do this again? It's about to be another long day watching this offense. And fun update, Beatty, Vientos, and Mauricio all hit home runs for Syracuse yesterday. So the clock's ticking on that. I don't know what Billy Epler is. I mean, we've covered it ad nauseum on the show. I know I heard Braden talk about it yesterday. Like, Epler wants to give these guys, and he said Beatty's got to get a specific number of at-bats in the minor leagues. I don't know. I mean, you might get him, 100, 200 at-bats, but if the offense is struggling up here, then what are you really doing?
Right.
You got to adjust your plan when it comes to how the big league club is doing. But regardless, what we needed to see after that was the bats, especially the Francisco Lindors, who tied the game 2-2 for home run, solo home run. And then Pete Alonso. So I'm remembering back to last year on the show, it was like MVP, right? MVP. And he kind of fell off, and obviously he didn't win it. But he's 6 home runs. If you do the math, he's on pace for 65 home runs. Now, I don't know if he's going to do it, but
Well, I think Judge is on pace for 72. So this is all hypothetical.
Yeah, that's a great point, Devin. But regardless, just if he continues to do this, and we talk about, they ran the offense back and the Correa thing fell through, and then we all know about that, right? And we don't have these prospects up. But if Pete Alonso continues just like, I don't know, 85%, 80%, 75% of what he's doing now, 6 home runs through 10, 11 games. So that's a crazy pace. I don't expect him to keep that up. But if you're like 75% of that, I mean, this guy can carry an offense when he's on. So.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it might be because of the mustache, the shaving of the mustache. He was a little off for a little bit, so then he shaved the mustache, and he's been hot. He has been hot as of recent, and I mean, he really is kind of like the only bat on this team that is hot. It's like Lindor, he's like hitting like 220. Marte's doing Marte. Like it's Pete can be that person for us, like he was like just a few years ago, hitting like a lot of like a record number of home runs. Like as you said, like he's on record for like, what do you say, 65. So I mean, I have faith in Pete, and he's looking to get a contract in the near future. So I've got faith in Pete.
He's definitely doing his job to start the season. That's for damn sure. We got a caller to get to, though. First caller of the day on WHPC Sports Talk. Caller, talk to me. Where you calling from? What's up?
Oh, hey, it's me, Ross. How you doing?
What's up, Ross?
What's going on, Ross?
Yeah, I'm just under the weather. That's all. But yeah, the offense for the Mets, it's definitely very hit or miss. You know, it's not. When I saw that first thing, as you guys, were saying, it was concerning. It's they just can't score any runs. But you gotta give credit to Tyler McGill. He pitched a good game.
He did.
I would say he's been their second best pitcher of the season so far, for sure.
Yeah, he's been good. And by the way, for all the Mets fans out there, if you want to feel even better, the guy that they trade Lindor, Rosario, the guy they traded to get him, he had a huge error in the 9th inning against the Yankees. So, and Lindor hit a home run today. So,
Jimenez has been doing well recently. Jimenez has shaved himself into a very suitable second baseman, though.
Yeah, but I just wanted to. I heard this on the radio earlier that about these pursuit for Ohtani.
Yeah.
So this is where Epler got stupid again, because so Kodai Senga. So when he, because they both come from the Japan area.
Yep.
They both come from Japan, and what happened was there's a certain you have to say a relationship that you have to have, and I guess supposedly with it affects things with Ohtani because they both come from the same area. So I don't know, but I heard something that the Senga thing may affect Ohtani from coming here.
What do we think about that?
I mean, I've heard the same thing before, that these Japanese players, they don't like to play together because they don't want to step in the other one's spotlight. So it's not too far-fetched. I buy it, to be honest. But
yeah,
I hope they can get past that and just play together.
Yeah, that makes sense. To my memory, you don't really see like the mega Japanese stars, the Ichiros, the Hideki Matsui, for all my Yankee fans out there. I mean, you never really, now that I'm thinking about it, you haven't really seen them on the same team at the same time. So that does line up. But I mean, if you're Ohtani's agent and you're Ohtani himself, and like I say, Steve Cohen hands you a blank check and you're like, yo, name your price. I mean, I get it, but I still think he can be bought despite that.
I don't think Senga's going to step on Ohtani's reign at all. Like Ohtani is a level above Senga. He's quite a bit of levels above Senga. So, if anything, Ohtani is stepping on Senga's New York fame in Japan. So, yeah.
I'll let you guys go. See ya.
All right, Ross, feel better.
Ross.
Thank you for the call.
See ya. Bye.
That's Ross Levine here on Mondays and Wednesdays on Sports Talk. If you want to join the conversation too, 516-572-7210. 7-4-4-0. All right, so like we've been covering, the Mets took 2 out of 3 from the Padres. Going to pull up the Mets schedule now, see who they're playing coming up. Oh, they go to Oakland.
Athletics, yeah.
Yeah, they go to Oakland.
Yeah, Senga starts on Friday.
Yeah, when Kodai Senga starts, I'm tapped in. I'm tuned in because
he's the best pitcher on the team.
Scherzer?
You have to say
he's better than Scherzer.
You have to say that. I agree with Nico. And the fact that, number one, it's become an event every time he takes the mound, especially, the first home game. I mean, we were at that game. It was electric. And they had the scoreboard graphics ready. The crowd was like into the pitches, and they're really excited about this guy. And he's like a 30-year-old rookie. So it's weird, but like we're really treating him like the upstart rookie who's got a lot of potential. He definitely does. So we'll see him start on Friday. And you bring up Max Scherzer. That's a guy that I wanted to talk about. Obviously, he won the first game of the series. And I was listening to somebody that was talking about he had a good start, and again, he struggled the first 2 starts, but they were like, I'm still not a believer. He's washed. He's this, he's that. I'm like, when did baseball fans become so reactionary?
It's like 162 game season.
Yeah, and I know the age concerns is a real thing, but I'm like, let's all relax. The hot takes after 10 and 11 games,
He's like Scherzer had like a no-hitter going quite a bit of innings into that game he was pitching the other day. His strikeout numbers were down. Like I think he pitched like 5 innings and got like 6 strikeouts, I believe. But so the strikeouts numbers are down, which is a little concerning to see. But he had a no-hitter going for quite a bit of time. So I'm hoping Verlander doesn't shy away from what he looked like last year, looking like the Cy Young pitcher he did. But like you said, age definitely could be a matter in this game of baseball. I don't know.
Ross said a phrase, and we all know the phrase, boom or bust, right? Mm-hmm. So, looking at this Mets rotation, number one, and team as a whole, this is what I didn't like about the Mets, but it just goes to show you, no matter how much they may struggle and disappoint you, especially with the runners in scoring position, hitting in those spots, and the older pitching rotation. So the Mets are 7-6 through 13 games. You can say whether you feel good about that, bad about that. I mean, it's 7-6 through 13. It could be a lot worse. It could be a lot better. But you look at the pitching rotation. Like, if it all comes together, the Mets are going to be fine. Like, they're going to be the World Series contenders we know they can be. But say, Scherzer the age really is getting to him, and Verlander has little knick-knack injuries throughout the whole year, and then Senga is Senga, but who knows what you get out of Tyler McGill? Does he fall off a little bit after the great start he's on? David Peterson.
Katana,
when is he coming back?
From injury, yeah.
And then he should not be named Cookie. Let's go with Cookie. How long is he going to last? But this rotation, like, if it all comes together, it has a chance to be a special World Series caliber rotation, but you just don't know because the questions are very valid. No matter what you want to say, it's only 13 games. Oh, yeah, 13 games is enough to show me there are problems with this rotation. No matter what side you fall on, boom or bust, like, you don't know. It could go either way. And then the offense, we all know. Like, Alonso, can he keep this up? Lindor. I know everyone talks about Lindor's contract. And it's like, they overpaid. That's all I heard last year, but all he did was hit 20 home runs and 100 RBIs. Mm-hmm. From a shortstop, those don't really fall on trees. So, special player, but you still like to see more around those two guys. I mean, Starling Marte and Brandon Nimmo's been doing their job. Nimmo has a .431 on-base percentage. Leadoff hitter, that's what you want. Marte is not too far behind in the 2-hole. And we all knew the Mets offense 1-4, 1-5 when McNeil's hitting fifth is going to be special.
Yeah.
The question is, Eduardo Escobar.
Tommy Pham.
Tommy Pham had another big RBI hit today, but is that sustainable? How much can you really expect from a platoon DH situation with Vogelback and Pham? Like, it's... And the young guys, we don't know. I mean, Beatty looks ready to me. All he does is hit dingers and get a couple hits every other minor league game. Vientos over 1,100 OPS in the minor league, so it's just they're good. What's that that Jadakiss quote. They're good, but it's not enough. It could be better. Like,
it'd be so much better.
Yeah.
That's what's frustrating about it. And I know they go to Oakland for 3 games, should definitely beat up on them. But then you have the Dodgers. Get to see our old friends Wilmer Flores and J.D. Davis in San Francisco, Washington, and then you finish up the month, first series of the year against Atlanta at home. So
that's right there.
Going to be interesting to see how the Mets do. Let's we did bring up the Yankees earlier. Let's get to their game. Ross said a big error really opened the door for them to get that win 4-3 against Cleveland. How do we feel about this Yankees team? Just they're 8-4, and
I mean 8-4, and still I think third. I think they're behind the Blue Jays, and then the Rays being
no,
undefeated.
they're second right now, but so this team does not move me. They've had a really easy schedule so far. I feel that way about a lot of teams, like the Rays. They've had a really easy schedule.
11-0 is 11-0 though. I don't know.
It is.
I don't know.
But I it's still an easy schedule though.
How? While we're on the subject of the Rays, and obviously they relate to the Yankees and the American League East, like I hate to be. Maybe this is like my big market. Grew up in New York my whole life, like opinion coming out, but they have one star player in Wander Franco. And that team, like we've seen the last couple of years, is just a bunch of little engines that could or can and just keep going. And the pitching is great. Don't get me wrong, very well-rounded team. But I mean, how sustainable really is it? I know 11-0 is a great start, but I hate to beat down on an 11-0 team, but I don't know how real it is, yo. Like I don't know.
It's this team is I like 11-0. Seeing this team is like beautiful. Seeing that, like it's they have the Rays every year build their roster through guys that like in the Moneyball, like getting cheap guys that will get you your suitable. They'll be suitable for that position, and they'll get you to what you have to do, and like they do that excellently. Like they have Wander Franco as their star, but then they fill this team around him with many players that are very, very solid and can fill around him, and it's working. They're 11-0, but in the playoffs, I don't know how well it's going to do because like they got suitable guys at these positions, but they're not the stars at each position. Like they're just all right and all together, like all working together. So I don't know how it will work in the playoffs, in the postseason, but right now in the regular season, it's working very well for them.
Yeah, and obviously the big thing about them is their pitching. I mean, this Shane McClanahan guy, like, yo, the stuff is crazy. The performances have been crazy. If the Yankees want to compete with them, the one thing I'll say, and I know, again, it's an early sample size, but the Yankees pitching got to be up to par. Like, this Clark Schmidt guy, yo, if I'm a Yankees fan, I'm like, yo, get him out, please. Like, there's no reason for him to be here right now. That's 3 starts in. That's 3 earned runs or more each start.
Both New York teams are still waiting on many pitchers on the injured list. Like with New York, with the Mets, we got quite a bit, but with the Yankees, they got Montas looking injured, Rondon, Severino. So they have quite a bit of pitchers that once they become healthy and get put into this rotation, that rotation is going to look like a top 5 rotation in the league.
I mean, we said it. The only problem or the only concern with the Yankees is the health of that rotation. And we saw the guys go down early. It's not what you want, but yeah, Devin, you're right. If they get all those guys back,
that is quite the rotation. Like you go Cole, Rondon, you still got Germán, Montas, Severino. Like that is an excellent rotation and could fight with the Mets for a better rotation. Like that is. I like both of those rotations a lot.
It's always been the interesting like debate to me, like which rotation is going to be better. And as a Mets fan, I actually said the Yankees. If you really think about the potential and everything, but the Yankees just can't seem to stay healthy. Their starters.
Isn't Rodon out for the season?
Pretty sure, yeah. And then Montas, we'll see when he gets back. And I mean, Severino's always got something.
Oh, yeah.
So he might be back for, I hate to say it, but he might be back for 2 starts and then be down with something. So it's interesting. Yankees 12 games in, Mets 11 games in. Going to be interesting to see how it plays out because remember the Mets, they actually started the season off last year, if I remember correctly. A lot of big wins. I mean, they had that. The comebacks from last season are just like burned in my brain. Like the comeback in Philly, but down how many runs in the 9th inning? That how often does that happen? The win in St. Louis, how often does that stuff happen? And we're talking about how much of this stuff is sustainable this early in the season. I was with Ross when he was talking about the offense, like how much of that like magic, that Mets amazing magic is really sustainable because I don't know how often comebacks like that happen. And if you remember, the Mets offense last year was very like, they weren't just hitting 3 home runs every game. It was, smart hitting like we saw in the first game against San Diego. Like how often do we see like a bunt right down the line, a little dribbler right down the line again? Like that's the kind of stuff that reminded me of the stuff they were doing last year. But is it? I don't know. Because who is it? Spencer Strider with the Braves.
Yeah.
What was he bringing up there? BABIP. They don't hit the ball hard enough. This is fake. And we killed him for that. But I don't know. It might be something to what he's saying. I don't know. All I want to see is like solid contact. The dribblers and the bunts and the small ball is nice, but I need to like see a lot more from this offense to trust it.
Yeah, we're supposed to be a 100-win team, so like we have to start hitting like a 100-win team.
Exactly. That you said it and put it perfectly. It's still early. They can get on a run. I know they have the Athletics, their everyone's get right series, so we'll see what happens. Before we move on from baseball, let me remind everybody that you are listening to WHPC Sports Talk here on the voice of Nassau Community College. 90.3 WHPC. Josh Williamahi joined by Nico Each and Devin O'Shea once again. 516-572-7440. Call up and talk about anything. I was kind of kidding about the soccer, though. Nah, there's no reason.
You don't follow the MLS, Josh?
Nah. I mean, go Red Bulls, go NYCFC, I guess. That's all you're going to get out of me, though. I mean,
fair enough.
That's all I got to say. Where do I want to go from here? Want to talk some basketball?
Oh, yeah.
Basketball.
We got some basketball.
The NBA play-in took place yesterday. And I'm going to start with the last game, the Lakers and Timberwolves, because I got a lot to say about the Timberwolves.
Oh, yeah.
Man, listen. I'm a nice guy. I try not to tear people down, tear teams down, right? That's not what I want to do. I know that's sports radio. It's what you're supposed to do when you see some dumb stuff, like what the Timberwolves been doing, but I don't like to usually do that. It has to be something really flagrant to really get me out of my element like that. So, mind you, Rudy Gobert punches his teammate in front of the cameras, in front of the bench. We can see you. Out for the game, suspended. Jared Vanderbilt. Oh, I'm so mad. I got my second foul early in the game. Oh, Jaden McDaniels, sorry. Jared Vanderbilt's on the Lakers now, on the Timberwolves last year. I get them mixed up all the time.
Yeah, that's fair.
But Jaden McDaniels, I'm pissed off right now. You know what I'm going to do?
Jesus.
I'm going to punch a wall. I'm just going to, my hand. Out for the season.
Idiot.
He's so stupid. Like, he's supposed to go up at LeBron James in 2 days. Like, 2 days.
Well, that's why he did it.
LeBron.
Yo, for real.
Have to.
I was thinking about that. Like, yo, do I really got to guard this guy? And, let me just be out for the season real quick.
Now you got Torian Prince.
My favorite. My favorite. And you know what's funny about that? When he started the game off hitting those threes, I'm like, oh no. The PTSD from the game earlier in the Garden was just setting in. I'm like, yeah, I guess we're in the Garden now. I guess the Crypto.com arena is the new Madison Square Garden now because Torian Prince has showed up tonight. But I say all that about the Timberwolves to say, and I know they lost Naz Reid, that's another important piece, but let me take a deep breath. Do we all remember their playoff series last year against the Grizzlies?
Yeah.
They dominated that series. They should have won in 5 games. They lost in 6 games. They blew 20-point lead after 20-point lead, and I'm like, that's kind of goofy. That's a little weird, but maybe they come back next year and show everybody, who's boss, right? They trade 5 first-round picks for Rudy Gobert. That's your win now move. I don't know.
Dumbest trade ever.
It looks real goofy now, but again, I say all that to say the Timberwolves did play well to start the game. They were up, double digits, multiple points in the game, but it's like
you're up double digits, almost going to the fourth quarter.
I'm like, yo, did you learn your lesson from last year? Usually, this is how life goes. You make a mistake, feel kind of stupid. You learn from it, get better the next time, right? That's life. The Timberwolves were just like, we watched this exact same thing happen last year. We're just going to keep doing the same things we did last year. Just stupid offense. Anthony Edwards, my guy, Nico.
Jesus.
Yo, he 3 for 17 last night, man.
17%. How do you shoot 17% in the playing game? This was the Timberwolves' win to have, and they blew it. They blew it so hard. They went from having such a solid roster to having to put up a completely injured and beat down Timberwolves roster against this LA team. They had this win. This win was their game. They would have had Conley, Edwards, McDaniels to go up against LeBron, Cat at the 4, and Rudy Gobert at the 5, with Kyle Anderson off the bench, who is excellent off the bench.
Mm-hmm.
And then you ruin it by Gobert doing what he did, and then Jaden McDaniels punching a wall. You in one game you just destroyed your chances in that play-in. That was your win, and you just sold it. And to add on to that, like you said, Edwards shooting 17%.
Yeah, and here's the thing, Devin. Because we see in the NBA, especially nowadays with the offense and the three-point shooting, I mean, teams blow 15-point leads every game. You see it every night in the NBA. It's not something uncommon. So I'm not killing the Timberwolves for that, but it's the stupidity leading up to the game, the stupidity surrounding the game, just dumbass stuff, and the stupidity in the second half. We saw I can't let the Lakers escape either, because that foul on Anthony Davis on that last 3-point shot. If I'm Dennis Schroeder, you're buying me dinner, buddy. Ain't no way I hit a game winner and then you just mess it up fouling a 3-point shooter.
And he was excellent off the bench. He is a main reason why they even won that game. And I'm talking bad about the Timberwolves, about how they ruined their chances against the Lakers in this playing game with Jaden McDaniels and Rudy Gobert. But the Lakers, they don't. They got to be talked about too. How do you almost lose this game like that? You have a roster of D'Angelo Russell, who shot 1 for 9, Austin Reeves, Jarrett Vanderbilt, LeBron, AD. How do you lose that? How do you almost get that close to losing against a Timberwolves team that is already that beat down?
I mean, Charles Barkley said it best. It's just two dumb teams. We saw two dumb teams playing basketball. I mean, the fact that, and I want to say this about LeBron James. I don't think he's the greatest of all time, and I know everyone's like, "Oh, you hate LeBron James? What do you mean? He's the GOAT. He's the GOAT. He's the GOAT." Relax. The second best player of all time is a nice thing to be. It's a nice thing to be. Sometimes second best is all you can do. All right, but the fact that this guy played 45 minutes and he's still the best player on the team, I can't lie. I expected Anthony Davis to pass him up by now.
Yeah,
but he's still 30, 10, and 6. In a gotta-have-it game. I mean, it's impressive, but I'm looking at the Lakers like, yo, this guy's 38 years old. Can he not carry the team every night? Yeah. Why are you making this senior citizen do this? I'm not understanding. D'Angelo Russell got to be better, but Dennis Schroeder stepped up. The Lakers are moving on. They're the 7th seed. They'll play the Memphis Grizzlies in the first round.
I feel like D'Angelo Russell was still playing for the Timberwolves yesterday. He was still on the Timberwolves.
Oh, you think it's a little
trying to get them to win?
You think my boy Anthony Edwards hit him up like, yo, D-Lo?
He was on the team at some point this year. So I mean,
he thinks he's still on the team. But yeah, Lakers, Grizzlies. Dylan Brooks is already starting the trash talk, saying it would feel great to get LeBron James' old ass up out of here. So he's already starting. I don't know what to expect. I mean, I think it'll go 7 games, but I mean, the trash talking in that series is going to be wild.
Did you see what Dylan Brooks was wearing the other day?
Unfortunately, he had his hair permed and everything. He's just
he was cute. Bro was cute.
I don't.
Bro wanted to be cute.
He did. He wanted his. He was feeling himself.
Yeah.
He he was ready for his Kodak moment, I guess. I don't know, but we'll see how that series goes. The Grizzlies and the Lakers is going to be interesting. Going to be a competitive series. One of my favorite TikToks is because the Grizzlies talk a lot of ish, and LeBron was like one game and it was like, yo, this y'all last time disrespecting me. These young guys just talk to me crazy. I'm not having it. It's going to be something. So we'll see if the Grizzlies kick up the trash talk even more. I know John Morant. He's going to have a chance. I mean, we all know about the gun stuff, and his parents had a real good marriage, all of that, but yeah, he's a big-time player. I expect him to step up, so we'll see what happens there. The Hawks beat the Heat. Real quick on this game, the Heat are so booty, yo. The fact that they got people believing in the Hawks again.
Like Kendrick Perkins, he said how if he were the Celtics, he'd be terrified of the Heat, and like the Heat would be the only upset that would be able to happen, and they can't even get past the Hawks. Jimmy Butler shoots I think 36%. I'm pretty sure 36% in a playing game.
Yeah, not what you want.
Looking like Anthony Edwards.
Yeah, both of them struggled yesterday. I mean, it was Kendrick Perkins and then it was Charles Barkley betting Shaq. Oh, I'm gonna bet $1 billion the Heat are not losing this game. He's lucky Shaq didn't take him up on that, because I would have been sick. But the Heat they have Kevin Love starting in 2023.
Strus started yesterday.
It's just not what you want. Max Strus. Really?
Like Kevin Love has not been
3 points
like what he was before LeBron left. Like he's not been like we saw what he was on the Timberwolves like 6-7 years ago, but that's probably like 8-9 years ago now. But when he went to the Cavs, then he took a step down, then went to the Heat. Now he played 3 minutes yesterday. 3 minutes. What happened? Like I used to love seeing Kevin Love play.
It's just a cooked product. The team's full of cooked products. And if I'm Jimmy Butler, I know I love Miami and everything for obvious reasons. But if I'm looking around the NBA, I'm like, which team could I go to that I can still like maximize my championship window and I'm familiar with, and I have a coach who I'm familiar with, and I have some players I'm familiar with, and it's another big market, and it's the same conference. Oh, no. I don't know. I think if he demands a trade, because the Knicks, I'm going to use this to transition to the Knicks now, because we all know they have a big playoff series, and I expect them to win the series, knock on wood. But it's all going to be about this offseason too. Like, which guy can they get to add to this roster? Which star are they going to trade for? Is Jaylen Brown, sorry, Devin, is he going to be available? Damian Lillard, maybe. Like, which guy is going to be available for the Knicks to go all in with those draft picks and get? Jimmy Butler, I wouldn't be opposed. I would not be opposed.
I think he's like 33, 34 now, which he could have a few good seasons in New York, and I think the Garden would kind of love having Butler and New York playing every night.
Oh, it would be. Whew.
That'd be great. And Trae Young is the Hawks are looking at packages for Trae Young. I know you.
No. He's ass.
I gotta hit you with the buzzer.
No.
But you know what, Devin? That I'm not even going to kill you for that, because you're not the only one that thinks that, apparently.
I'll throw up if that happens. Like, I would throw up every Knicks game.
There's just no... Besides, like, the obvious, like, the King of Broadway stuff, or why? Yeah. I can't lose in these shoes. Yeah, all right. As besides that, it's like... Brunson and Trae Young is a nasty fit, yo. I can't get behind that. But you had this guy on the fan earlier who was talking about, oh, if I'm the Knicks, I got to trade RJ, Obi, 4 firsts for Trae Young.
No,
I think I have to do that. I'm like, I don't want to kill the fan, because you never know who's listening. I love the fan. I think I
love the fan too.
Yeah.
I don't like the takes on the fan.
No, I don't. I think what I'll say is, if y'all want to offer me a job, I mean, because y'all basketball knowledge is definitely lacking a little bit. Knicks should trade for Trae Young to pair with Jalen Brunson.
That's nasty.
What? Like, how do you think about that and be on, like, writing notes about it and get on air like, oh, I'm gonna kill him with this. This is the smartest take I've ever had. Like, no, we're not getting behind that. No, Trae Young's not it. I mean, listen, it's going to pain me. I'm not going to go as far as Stephen A. Smith to say, the next season is a failure if they lose to Donovan Mitchell, but...
No, it is.
It is? No, I can't go there. You really think so?
Yeah. Honestly, if it was any other team, it wouldn't be, but it's because it's Donovan Mitchell and the Cleveland Cavaliers. A team you dominated in the regular season.
That's true. But...
You have to get your get back.
I mean, you could talk about failure or not. I disagree with that just because if the Knicks lost to say they played the Celtics in the first round and you lost, nobody would call it a failure.
No.
But because I know... Actually, it depends on this. Does anybody know what the final package was for the final trade offer from the Knicks to the Jazz for Donovan Mitchell?
I think it was Obi, RJ, Grimes, and 2 or 3 firsts.
See, my thing is, I think you're right about that. Actually, my thing is, RJ and Obi for Donovan Mitchell, I'll do. But if they were fiending for Grimes too, I'm like, I'm sorry, I can't. If you want 5 firsts, I can give you that. But Quentin Grimes is the good, Joe.
The Jazz rejected that trade.
Oh, then Danny Ainge was just trying to hit a lick. That's all he was trying to do. So, I'm getting flashbacks to how mad I was when this trade didn't come together because I was telling everybody, Spider's about to be a Knick. I was watching his highlights every day, this in the Garden's going to go crazy.
Spider was thinking he was going to be a Knick.
Imagine
he still wants to be a Knick.
He does. He talks about the Knicks every single chance he gets.
Yeah.
And then, the Spider memes with the Spider. New York City, it was too easy. He would have been Miles Morales Part 2. It was too easy. It was a walk in the park. But it didn't happen because, the Jazz wanted to fleece us. And we believed in R.J. Barrett. Like Ross says, we wanted to give him a 4-year, big money extension before he really proved anything. And I know when I get heated about R.J. Barrett, I turn this into the Hate on R.J. Barrett show. That's not what I want to do today, but damn, this kid got to step up, yo.
I mean, the package was for the Jazz from the Cavs was I'd say a better package than the Knicks pack. Lauri Markkanen went from all right guy to being able to put up the numbers that Donovan Mitchell was putting up in the Jazz uniform.
The Jazz didn't think that was going to happen.
Thank you.
It's true.
No
it's true.
The Knicks package was by far the better package.
Colin Sexton missed 20 games to end the season, so that was rough for the trade. Because you didn't get to see how much Colin Sexton was able to put up in the Jazz uniform. But I mean, for the Jazz. The Jazz, it's a better move for the Jazz now than it would have been if they traded for RJ and OB because they wouldn't have become what Lauri did in Utah.
But we don't know that though because RJ would have had a way bigger role in Utah.
Yeah.
So would have OB.
There's more of a chance to shoot under 500.
I mean, that package from the Knicks would have been better to help them tank.
Yeah.
Because there was an anonymous Western Conference executive, Danny Ainge. It was Danny Ainge. That was I hate that we won all these games and didn't get into the play-in, and then we have Wemby out there. You played yourself. If you would have taken the Knicks package, R.J. Barrett, Obi Toppin, who probably would have been. I mean, look at the way he's playing now.
He would have been the best player of that team.
I agree with that.
By far.
He's putting up 20 points and 8 rebounds as a starter the last couple of games with Julius out. So I don't know.
Killing it. And especially against the Pacers. He did 2 of those games were against the Pacers.
Oh, yeah, he owns Indiana. But I say all that to say I'm not going to call it a failure if they lose this series, but...
Well, it depends how they go out.
That's true, too.
If it's a competitive 6-7 game series,
yeah.
Okay. But if you're out in 5...
If it's a 5-game series, then that's a failure.
If it's 5, if it's 6 and you play terrible those last 2 games... Don't.
Do we know how many?
Because you got to win the series.
Yeah, well, they got to.
You got to win the series.
I don't expect them not to be competitive. I'm maybe I'm making a mistake there, but I'm fully expecting the Knicks. They won, like you said, 3 out of 4 games against Cleveland. I'm expecting them to be competitive at least. I'm expecting. I don't think there's any way this doesn't go. Let me not say it. The Umahi jinx is real. Let me not say it. But point being. I'm going to be heartbroken, though, if we lose. If Donovan Mitchell puts us out, and it's not just the fact that we lost out on him. He went to our Eastern Conference rival, and he put us out the playoffs. Oh, I'm gonna be depressed. that would be. Damn. Nah, we got to win the series now. I'm thinking about it now. We got to win this series, yo. I'm gonna be hurt. I'm gonna really be hurt.
Randall did get a limited practice in yesterday.
Yeah.
So.
And Tibbs has said like he's progressing every day, but we know Tibbs. He's not gonna reveal anything until like right up until game time, which is Saturday, game 1. They just put out the schedule for the first 4 games. So it's Knicks Cavs Saturday, game 1, Tuesday night in Cleveland on TNT, game 2. How about this?
Why is it so separated?
I don't know. The NBA playoffs is weird. I always say the same thing every year when it comes to like why are there 2 or 3 days in between games?
That's.
But like, yo, look, like, because you're looking at it, right?
Yo, why is game 5 2 days? What is?
I don't know. So yeah, a potential game 5 would be Wednesday from Sunday's game 4. Like that makes sense, but
yeah, I don't like that.
It's weird, but I mean, I guess they want the players to get rest and the travel and everything.
That Saturday in between game 3 and 4, that's going to be game 3 at the Garden for the New York Rangers.
Yo, so the Rangers. Yeah, I might have to hit up a sports bar this weekend. That might have to happen.
We out.
Yeah, that might have to happen. Because I'm looking at Friday night game 3, ABC primetime Knicks Cavs at the Garden. Ooh,
that'll be a good game.
And then Sunday afternoon, however you spend your Sunday mornings, you go to church, you go to brunch, you go to whatever. Hit up the Garden.
Yo,
1 p.m.
Knicks game is going to be insane.
Man, I got to get my money up because I don't know what these tickets are looking like now. I checked it earlier in the week. I mean,
they in the 400s.
Yeah.
Have you seen the Kings prices? They're out of this. Like there's like I think double what the prices of the Golden State Warriors tickets were.
Really?
Yeah, I mean they haven't been to the playoffs in like 16 years, so they finally get to the playoffs, and Sacramento just
game 1 tickets are $440 plus
for the Knicks.
Nah,
for the Kings.
For the Kings.
Damn, I mean, I guess they missed out on like 20 years of playoff revenue. So they're like, you don't get it black in blood now. So
yeah, let me check the Knicks tickets real quick.
Yeah,
the Nets ones are so cheap. I think that's hilarious.
Well, nobody. They got to.
No, you could go to the Brooklyn Nets playoff game for $70.
Yo, nah, they got to pay people to come to those games. I'm sorry, but I'm not paying top dollar or $70 even to watch Spencer Dinwiddie play basketball. That's just not what I'm interested in doing.
Chase Bridges,
what happened to Dinwiddie a few hours ago?
You read my mind. I was just about to go to it. So Kyle Kuzma and Spencer Dinwiddie Twitter beef. What do they call it? They having a mid-off? I mean, dang. So to recap, Spencer Dinwiddie was like, for some reason, he was slandering Kyle Kuzma. I don't even know who started that. I'm not that interested in it. Kyle Kuzma.
Wasn't it Kuzma? I think it was Kuzma.
Kuzma, yeah, but yeah. So Kuzma says what he says. Dinwiddie goes on TV and says, "Oh, you know, he dresses weird." And I'm paraphrasing everybody. He dresses weird, and he doesn't care about winning, and he's all about stats, and he wants his money this year. That's all he's playing for. Kuzma unwraps the Twitter fingers and goes to work on Spencer Dinwiddie. I'm gonna try to pull up this thread because I don't even. Yeah, this is serious. He put out a whole Twitter thread on Spencer Dinwiddie.
There is 6 points he made.
6 tweets. So yeah, what's he said? Spencer Dinwiddie's been bounced around this league like a basketball. So he called Spencer Dinwiddie a word I can't say on a.
Oh, you can say it.
Nah, I really can't.
Spell it out for the class, Josh.
What rhymes with Dinwiddie? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. I really wish this was a podcast because I really just want to say it's perfect.
He can rhyme. Broken rhyme.
God, Kuzma's rhyming is on point. I mean, he had 6 tweet this. He was like, you can thank KD and Kyrie for getting into the playoffs because Dinwiddie was bragging about making the playoffs. That was Kuzma's best point. Because you're talking about, first off, you didn't even start the season with the team. So why are you bragging about the playoffs when KD and Kyrie clearly did the legwork? I don't know. All I know is if you slander the Nets and Spencer Dinwiddie like that, you might need to be a Knick. Kuzma, I know you're a free agent. You're good in the Garden, baby. With that energy, I love it. But yeah, Spencer Dinwiddie, and I love Mikal Bridges, but you're going to have to pay me to go to those games. Like the Nets, like ticket people got to be outside on Atlantic Avenue, literally offering like $50 in hand. Like, yo, please watch us in the playoffs. Because I'm going to tell you, the main attraction is definitely not just the Rangers, it's Madison Square Garden, it's the Knicks.
The Mecca, baby.
Nobody cares about the Brooklyn Nets.
Nobody really thinks the Nets have a chance over the Knicks having a chance over the Cavs.
No, like we know Knicks and Cavs is going to be some heat. Nets Sixers, I know I slandered Doc Rivers, but all things like being reasonably considered, the Sixers should put them out in 5 games or less. So, I'm like, yo, like...
It really shouldn't go to 6 games. Like Embiid, if Embiid is doing what Embiid does, they're going to go in 5 games. I'd say the Nets get 1 game.
Yeah, I think they do too, but I mean, Doc Rivers, don't make me do the voice again.
Yo, Eric did perfectly.
He really did. It's such a... What's crazy about Doc Rivers? So, if you like catch a video of him like in the 90s doing like TV broadcasts, he was talking perfectly normal. Like I guess that was before like the Newports and everything, and the screaming at Blake Griffin and Rajon Rondo. But
that would do it too.
But he was like, "Yeah, I really think this is going to be a competitive series." Like he was talking like Doc Rivers. Yeah. It's crazy how it ended up for him.
Oh, Brooklyn.
Blake. Well, what else do I want to get to?
You know what's crazy?
Yeah, what's crazy?
2 seats, 20 rows behind the hoop for the Nets game. $340 for 2 tickets. That is not even enough for 1 Knicks home playoff ticket.
Yo, I'm sorry, but like, say somebody buys those tickets and they're like, "Oh, I want to flex. I'm courtside at the Nets playoff game." Yo, if you flex down on like IG, you're getting clowned. I'm sorry.
Oh, for sure.
You're flexing Barclays Center tickets. Nah, man, I don't know.
That is the worst like sports arena, I think.
Oh, it's terrible.
In North America.
I'm like, why is the arena shaped like that? Why are the seats positioned like that? Mm-hmm. Like the 200s at the Garden will get you some damn good seats. At the Barclays Center, it's like you're way up there. Like it doesn't make any sense to me. And don't get me started of when they tried to do hockey over there.
The Jumbotron was on one half of the ice.
It's just a failure.
The tickets were cheaper than the drinks that you would get at Barclays, yo. It was so funny.
Just another failed New York City gentrification project. That's all I'll say. But where else did I want to go to today? Any suggestions what we should cover last 6 minutes?
The Islanders can make the playoffs tonight.
Yeah, let's talk NHL. Win. Let's talk NHL playoffs real quick.
Yeah, pretty much. The Islanders win tonight, they're in. If they lose, Pittsburgh still has a chance to get in. What else?
How about the Bruins?
Screw the Bruins. They suck. I don't like them. Actually, they're like the best regular season team of all time.
All time.
Yeah. That really doesn't mean anything because it's playoffs, and they're going to get bitched around by the Islanders probably.
All that means is that the curse is about to hit extra hard this year.
Yeah. The last 2 teams that I did it to was rough. Tampa back in 2017, they got swept in the first round by a team that's never won a playoff series.
Nah, I don't believe in curses too much in sports, but that President's Cup curse is definitely...
It's wild.
It'd be killing people.
It is insane. But the Rangers, we still don't know who we're playing in the first round yet. It's either going to be New Jersey or Carolina. I pray to God it's Carolina. But we'll find out tomorrow night. Other than that, I mean, that's pretty much it.
The Rangers interest me. Because
if they don't win, Josh, I'm telling you right, if they don't win, I'm hanging myself off of Chase Bridge. It's over. This is the best put together team I've ever seen in my life. Any sport, this is the best team I've ever seen put together. If this team doesn't win a championship, it's never going to happen, and I'm going to cry. It's never going to happen.
See, I know they started to play great hockey, and then they got Patrick Kane, so that's the big win now move you were expecting. I get the optimism, and I mean, I'm not going to call them favorites, but I mean, obviously with
they're not, and that's what kills me.
But they really have a chance. This is like random, but I was watching an NHL ESPN hockey playoff commercial.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't see the Rangers anywhere. I was like, yo, what?
We don't get no love.
That's a little weird to me, but they had like the Bruins all over there. They had all these teams over there. No side of the Rangers, who very, in my opinion, in my hockey casual opinion, they can win a Stanley Cup. They're right up there with anybody else you want to put up there.
For sure. But what else happened? Mika Zibanejad wins team MVP.
And Jared Kelenic just hit a 482-foot home run in Wrigley Field. Wow.
So that tells you all he really needed. All he really needed was Edwin Diaz to get hurt, and his career was gonna take off. That's all that tells you. I lose sight of like how a lot of Mets prospects do in those trades. If you like really look at it, they haven't really been spectacular. I mean, I'm watching Carlos Correa's stats every day just because I'm still hurt about it. Let me see how he's doing now. Carlos Correa, the man that was a Met for 3 weeks. He was hitting like 182 last time I checked. Will I pull that up? What do we think about the Mets' upcoming schedule? And they're at the Athletics, and then they go to the Dodgers. So
I mean, Dodgers haven't even been the best team in their division this year so far. I think the Diamondbacks are the first team in that division.
Yeah, Diamondbacks are going off to start off the year.
I don't even know how that happened.
Rangers in first place, Rays in first place, and the Rays are a good team, but you didn't expect that. Yeah. The Diamondbacks in first place.
I like it.
I like it too, but we talk about sustainability. Like I don't know. About
they'll be back to like third or fourth within a week. But the Mets, they should sweep Oakland.
They got the worst ERA, so I mean,
that team is ass.
You really should sweep them.
You should take 2 of 3 from LA, and 3 or 4 from the San Francisco. And then you have the Nationals.
Oh yeah,
that should be a 3-game sweep.
Yeah, they're booty juice.
Yeah.
Let's see how the Mets do. Let's see how the Yankees do. We're going to talk a lot more about it tomorrow, but for today, we are done on WHPC Sports Talk. For Nico Weech and Devin O'Shea, this is Joshua Yamahi, thanking you once again for listening to the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC.